and today I am going to tell you about modals. What is modals? Modal verb is a type of verb that is used to indicate modality like request, ability, permission, suggestion, advice, obligation, etc. It tells the mood of a sentence. There are many modals like shall, must, could, might, will, ought to, may, would, should, can, and many other. Modals come with infinitive verb without to means no ing word, no second form or third form. They come only with verb first form or the present form. Now, when we talk about modals, we should know about the auxiliary verbs. They are also called helping verbs. They have no meaning on their own. They need the support of principal verb. There are primary auxiliary verbs and modals too. Auxiliary verbs are about 15 helping verbs in English. We divide them into two basic groups. One is the primary helping verb that consists of three verbs. The three verbs are be, have, and do. They are known as primary auxiliaries. Their forms are be, which covers be, is, are, am, was, were, being, and been. Second one, have. Have follows have, has, had, having. Third is do. Do covers do, does, did, doing, done. Now we will talk about modals. First is can. Can we can use for possibility, ability, permission, and suggestion too. For example, you can pass if you study, or he can play the cello. On the other hand, if we see could can also be used for possibility, ability, but in the past tense. Or we can say where the possibility and ability has been decreased. It can also come for request, a polite request. For example, he could pass if he studied. I repeat, he could pass if he studied. But see, with could, we have used the first form of the verb pass. That shows that modals always use the first form of the verb. Now just see the next one, may and might. May we use when we talk about the things that can happen in certain situations, and might saying that something was possible but did not actually happen. In other words, may shows or depicts doubt, and might increases the doubt. For example, it may rain tomorrow, a doubtful situation because we are telling or predicting about the future. It may rain tomorrow, doubt is there. And if we use might for possibility, there again, as we have used could for the past possibility, we can make a sentence, he said they might come the next day, or he might go to Australia next week. Now next is will. Will is used when we talk about the future action, as you all know, as it's a part of tense also and modal also. Will is also used for making a semi-formal request. It can also express an invitation or making a promise. For example, we will win this game that is a promise. Will you have some more tea? That is you're requesting. Or will you come to tea tomorrow? That's an invitation. Now next is should and shall. Should we use for a future action also? But should is mainly used for giving advice or obligation. You can say weak form of must. Should we use when it is not compulsory that you have to obey with that. It's just a suggestion. For example, shall we go for a jogging? If we see the shall is used for making offers or making suggestions duty. So, like shall we go for a jog? And if we use should, you should start eating healthy food. Again, our advice is there. Or, we should obey the traffic rules. Now, would is a very main modal in a modals group. Now, would is used for a polite request and offers. In conditionals to indicate distance from reality. It is also used for impossible situation, or it also depicts the wish. For example, I will look him up tomorrow. We will win this game. That is a promise. If we talk about would is also used for some past habit, or it can also use for a wish or to show regret or irritation over someone. For example, I thought I would be late, so I left early. That depicts a past action. Or, I would give you money if I had any. Next is must. Must is used for necessity or obligation, some strong advice or invitation, or saying you think something is certain. For example, you must complete this work now. Or compulsion, you must wear a helmet while driving a two-wheeler. So that shows a compulsion or a strong necessity or obligation. Next is ought to. Now ought to is used for duty, necessity, moral obligation. But it is not as forceful as must. But we can say it is more stronger than should. So ought to usually has the same meaning as should, particularly in affirmative statement or present. For example, you should or ought to get your hair cut. The should is there to depict the same meaning, but ought to is to have a strong meaning than should. Should is much more common and easier to say. So if you're not sure, you can use should also. Next is used to. Now used to is used as an auxiliary verb. Construction used to is used to express an action that took place in the past. That means some past habit is there. For example, we used to take a long vacation trips with the whole family. This is to depict your past habit. Used to can also be used to convey the sense of being accustomed. Accustomed means habitual or familiar with something. The tire factory down the road really stinks, but we are used to it by now. Thank you very much for listening me and showing your interest. Hope the topic is clear to you. Thank you.